Today's topic is crime scene types. Crime scene types. And crime scene is a place where crime took place. Um, it may be a physical location or it may be in a cyberspace. Crime scene types. Crime scene can be uh, categorized according to geographical location or based on evidence found in the crime scene. Now, types of crime scene based on geographical location. There are three types of uh, crime scene. If you are going to base it on geographical location, the first crime scene is outdoor crime scene. Outdoor crime scene. This may be difficult to investigate as they are exposed to weather elements such as rain, wind, or heat, as well as animal activities, which at times can contaminate the crime scene and lead to the destruction of evidence. So this kind of crime scene is outside, not in a place that is close. So the activities of human being or that of weather can contaminate or destroy the evidence. So that means it must be done on time. The investigator must come on time and work on it. So and process it so as to get or so as to collect all the evidence that is needed for the investigation. Then the second type is indoor crime scenes. Indoor crime scenes. Indoor crime scenes, this is a kind, just as the name implies, this is a kind of a crime scene that is located inside a place, maybe inside a building. So this kind of evidence is easier to recover as they are protected from the element and other external forces that can contaminate the crime scene. At times, you may need less forensic personnel. Maybe one or two persons can work in such kind of a crime scene and still get everything that he or she needs. Unlike that of outdoor crime scene, which because of the nature of the crime scene, you will need a lot of people, a lot of personnel, forensic personnel, so as for you to do the work on time and get all the evidence and leave the place before the destruction of the evidence. So in the indoor crime scene, you may need just forensic personnel. At times, one or two persons may be okay to do the work because it is always protected, it is always smaller, and at the same time, one thing that is peculiar to it is that you have less, or at times you may not have any witness, human witness to the incident. So that is one of those one thing that is peculiar to it. So the third type of crime scene, based on geographical location is conveyance crime scene. Conveyance crime scene. These are crime scenes that occur in vehicles such as cars, buses, or trains. Physical evidence recovered from these scenes may extend well beyond the conveyance. For example, a suspect or suspects leaving in a hurry may carelessly leave additional evidence. A conveyance such as a vehicle may be transported to the laboratory after proper documentation has been done. So these are the three types of crime scene that you have based on geographical location: the outdoor crime scene, the indoor crime scene, and the conveyance crime scene. Then you have another type based on the evidence found in the crime scene. The first one is primary crime scene. primary crime scene. This type of crime scene is actually the place where the crime occurred, or at times it is where we have more usable pieces of evidence. So we call it a primary crime scene because this is a place where the majority of the crime scene may be seen, or that is the place where the crime scene might have occurred. For example, in a homicide, um, robbery, assault, or arson scenes, at times when homicide took place, a person may be killed in a house and is taken to another place to make it look as if he was killed, maybe by vehicle, maybe uh, road is not far away from that place. They may deposit him in that place just as for it to look as if he was hit by a case. The primary crime scene is the home, and in a robbery case, um somebody may be a robber may broke into a house, scatter their way some property, and take it to an uncompleted building where they will now share the whatever they have stolen from the home of that of the victim. So now most of the evidence will be in the primary crime scene at home there. Then apart from that home, that is the place where it took place, where the robbery took place. So that is the primary crime scene. Then the other place may be the secondary. So, and even something like a arson. Arson is when fire incidents occur and there's evidence that it is caused by human being, maybe due to one reason or the other. So somebody just put fire in an office or in a house. That is not just ordinary fire incident, but arson. So at times fire may start in a place and may extend to another place, maybe like two, three, four buildings. So the first place where that thing happen, that is the primary crime scene. So then the secondary crime scene, the secondary crime scene. Without primary crime scene, you can't have the secondary crime scene. The secondary crime scene is which is some or another way related to the crime, but it's not a place where the actual crime is committed. It's known as secondary crime scene. The crime scene that is somehow related to the primary crime scene, to the actual place where the crime scene took place, is what we refer to as secondary crime scene. So, for example, just as we said, where you see a dead body in a bush or beside the river, the dead body might have been carried there by somebody who killed him or murdered him inside his own house. So that place, that beside the river where the dead body was dumped, is known as a secondary crime scene because that is not the actual place where it took place. It is important as it may provide a vital between the suspect. It may provide a vital information between the suspect and the victim. For example, in a murder case where murder is done at one place and the body is dumped in another different place, in this case, the secondary crime scene where the body is dumped can provide more information in terms of evidence like clothes, fiber, hair, weapon, and so on and so forth. of the suspect that will help to trace the primary crime scene. So, at the secondary crime scene, we can see there it is possible for us to see the verbal or the hair of the assailant, of the suspect, or the weapon that he used. So all these things can help us to link the crime or the crime scene to the suspect. So we have the third one, that is called virtual crime scene. Virtual crime scene. This is a kind of crime, a crime scene that can be located in the cyberspace. Cyber crimes or crimes involving cyberspaces. This is when a crime is perpetrated through a computer or against a computer infrastructure. At times, a computer itself may be a target of the crime. For example, a computer may be an attack in form of Trojan, or in form of virus. In form of virus may be launched against a system, a targeted system, and that system may stop working. In that case, that crime is committed against that computer. Or in another case, a ransomware can be launched against a particular system, and that system will every files on the system will be locked. That means the system is no more accessible for the owner. So the owner cannot access the system. So that's why the system is still with him physically, but he can't access all his files. So in such kind of a situation, that system is a target of the crime. So the crime is cyberspace. It's a virtual crime scene. That system that's a kind of a system. That's a virtual crime scene, because the person who perpetrated the crime may even be hundreds of kilometers far away or in another continent entirely. And it is also possible that the crime is committed through the computer, not just against the computer, but through the computer. For example, all the login details of a particular person may be stolen from a system. All the login details may be login details for his banking account may be stolen. So all these banking details may be used to enter into his account, log into his account, and steal his money. So the system or that computer is just like a link. It was used to commit the crime. The crime was committed in a bank, but a system of somebody was used. So in another scenario, a system may be used to launch attack on another system. In an organization where you have all the system network together, a particular system may be used to send viruses onto all other systems. So that system is used to send virus to all other systems, and all other systems may be shut down or be locked, while the one they use it may still be working. So in that case, that system, the crime is now the crime, even though has taken place on some other system, but it was done through another system. So that is for crime scene, virtual crime scene. Now let's move further. You have component of crime scene. Components of crime scene. And we will talk about all these components, and at the same time, what type of evidence you can see from the components. The crime scene can be grouped into many components. The first one is line of approach. The line of approach. Please, I want you to look at the screen. The line of approach. At the right hand side of the screen of your screen here, you can see I have two arrows. That is the line of approach. The line of approach is the specific path or direction that is used by the criminal to come to the crime scene. So if the criminals are coming through this line, through this path, through this direction, that is the line of approach. And in the line of approach, what the evidence you can get from it, if you start our investigation from that, we can get some things like the tire impression, and the shoe impression. The shoe or the footwear impression or the tire impression, or if they came to that place, or if the perpetrator, the suspect, came in through using a car, or maybe there are many through a car. So you can see the impression of the tire, and that impression can help us in tracking the type of vehicle that they use. Or if they came on foot, their footwear impression can help us to link the suspect to the crime scene. Now, another component of crime scene is point of entry. Point of entry. This is the point from which the criminal will have entered the crime scene before committing the crime. For example, maybe the front door, the back door, the balcony, or even the roof of the house. So now let's assume this is the front door of this house. This is the front door. So that is the point of entry. So in the point of entry, there are some evidence that you can get in that place. These are the evidence like the fingerprint, like the footwear impression, like their DNA. At times where they are touching, or somebody may have a wound while breaking the door, that may make him or her to leave his DNA or her DNA on the door post or on the window. So another thing you can get there is the fingerprint. You can get their fingerprint. So you process for all these things at the point of entry. Now, looking at inside, this is where we have another component of crime scene is actual scene. The actual scene. We call it actual scene. This is the specific point where the crime took place. Supposing it is a homicide, so it will go to be a place, maybe on bed or in the sitting room. So the actual place where that thing took place is where we call the actual scene. That is the place where the victim was found, or where we find the majority of the physical evidence. So that is the actual scene. Let us assume it took place here. So this is the actual scene. That's another component. So we have another component after the suspect or the suspects might have committed their crime. They may retreat towards a place. At times they may not go back towards through the point of entry. They may also go back through another place, maybe the exit door, or through a window, or through another door in the house. So that place becomes the point of exit. So the point of exit is another component of crime scene. So it's the point where the crime scene made his or her exit after committing the crime. So that is the point of entry. So another component of crime scene is the line of retreat. After getting out of the crime scene, then there could be another place. There's going to be another place where they used to retreat, or where they pass, where the criminal used to move away from the crime scene. For example, the direction taken by the criminal to reach his or her house. At times, in many cases, they may not use the same place where they were coming. They may not use the line of approach. And at times, it may also be the line of approach that they will use. So, let's move further. In fact, there are some situations where investigators are called upon to testify as witness in a court of law. Therefore, an effective investigator can only provide clear and coherent testimony if he has undertaken a credible and comprehensive investigation. In that case, there are some skills and qualities that we are expecting an investigator to have. Skills and qualities of an investigator. We mention some of them, discuss them, then later we stop. The first one is education and training. He or she should have a background in forensics or the justice system, or have undergone specialized training in crime scene investigation as you are doing now. Then, number 2, emotional resilience. Some crime scenes are emotional or religious driven. A crime searcher or an investigator must have value. You must value evidence or facts over your emotion. Let me repeat myself again. There are some crimes that are religious driven or emotional driven. So, if you are a crime investigator, if you must work, during the time you are investigating, you must make sure that you allow every one of your reasoning to go above your emotion. Value facts over your emotion. If not, it may affect you. It may affect the outcome of your work, especially if you are also a religious person. So you must value facts above any kind of emotion that may be coming up as a result of the fact that maybe you belong to the religious group, or maybe to ethnicity that make you to have a kind of a side, to be siding one party. So you must value facts above above any other thing, above emotion, above religion, above any other thing, above whatever people may be saying. Then another Another skill and qualities that an investigator must possess is that of intellectual capacity. Because of the fact that there's a lot of training that is required of investigators to enable them to perform their task effectively and efficiently, investigators should know the element of crime and how to apply investigative techniques. Though exceptional intelligence is not a primary requirement for effective investigators, yet they should have objectivity, logic, and common sense. The ability to get and retain information requires a lot of reasoning. Then critical thinking. Critical thinking. The investigator should pave the way for critical thinking to dictate the direction of the flowing facts while they are gathered, and the theory synthesized. Pave the way for critical thinking to dictate the direction of the flowing facts while they are gathered and the theory synthesized. This is what I mean. Allow critical thinking. Allow critical thinking to dictate the direction. Wherever you theorize, you synthesize a theory. For example, when you synthesize a theory, maybe you something happen, and let me give a scenario. In a house, there are three people living in the same house, and each one of them left the house for their working place, and each one of them has a key to the house. Before they came back, they found out that the TV they left was no more there. Without anybody breaking the door, it is normal for an investigator to theorize that one of them came in, especially if one of them is a man and the other two were female, that probably one of them came in, used the door, used his key to open and took away the TV. It's normal to synthesize a theory like that. But after asking questions and after processing the place, and you discover that the footprint of the person that came in to that house around a period of time when the TV was taken away is pointing to one of the females. And another thing is that you ask from the working place of the one of those two females, and the one that you have the footprint, they said he left the place, he left her working place at the same time when that thing was taken away. You have two facts on ground. Allow those two facts to dictate the direction of the investigation. Don't allow emotion or any other thing to dictate it. So critical thinking will make you to say, yes, if this one can leave her working place at this social time, where have you been? Where have you gone? What is the reason for you to leave your working place? He left her working place. Then it was during that time that the door was open and TV was taken away. So that thing, critical thinking will help you a lot to while investigating. Then another thing that will help you is ethics and integrity. The investigator should be somebody with honor and unmatched integrity and with a high moral philosophy to diligently perform his duty without confusion or influence. It doesn't matter how much of love that you have to somebody. When you are investigating, you don't allow such a love to influence you to just seek for the truth and the truth alone. The truth must be your master when you are investigating. So your integrity must be on board while you are investigating. You must be somebody that they cannot use money or use any kind of incentive or reward to persuade to do what you're supposed not to do. So ethics and integrity must be the ethics of your work also must be above any other thing. So we are going to stop here this evening, and the next class is going to be on crime scene management, and there we are going to talk about how to collect uh, the method of collecting of evidence collection. So the method we use in collecting evidence will be taught next week. I mean next class. That is going to be on Wednesday. Okay, thank you.